well is a very telling story, and you just mentioned about Kitengela. Now, a young lady who is taking her baby, actually a 2-year-old daughter, and stabbing her. This was doing rounds on the social media, a very disturbing video that we saw, at a very, it was like a slow burn. She's actually doing it, stabbing the baby several times with a knife, ripping the stomach of the daughter, and plucking out the intestines, eating the organs. The woman is said to have stabbed to death her baby and eaten body parts, as you can see in the Standard today. Investigators want to establish who she spoke to before committing the crime. Could it be a case of, indoctrination? Could it be a case of a mental issue? Now that is still under investigation. Let me just continue, because he had actually picked up on it, Irungu Houghton.
So it is a very disturbing story in many ways, and I think what you've got is a young person, a young mother. From what we can read, mother that was struggling with a broken relationship, or a relationship that had come to an end with the father of her child, and of course
they were not really married. It was just.
Yeah, I don't think they were married. I think it was essentially they had a relationship. A child was born, and she was struggling, I think, as a young mother. And I think, of course, this will play out in the court of law. She will get representation, and it's probably not helpful to speculate at this point what may be there, but maybe just to talk about the more broader issues around, mental health and well-being. I think, we have to acknowledge that we are a society in crisis, and it's not just what's happening in the south of the country, but this particular case has some gravity to it that I think has disturbed many people. It's not just that she has allegedly killed her daughter, but did this while they were neighbors watching. And it's also that the allegation that she has eaten the body organs of this child, and the articles today in the newspaper suggest even the liver of this child. And I think that's what, for most people, is very disturbing. But we have to recognize that mental health is a major issue in this country. And we are not far from some of the things that we see even in the fictional television programs, the zombie movies, the zombie series. I just hope that she can also get help. But I think the wake-up call for the rest of us is, how is it possible that people who live among us can feel so isolated, so detached from help, that they can take this course of action rather than reach out for the mental health services that exist in the country. And I think for the Ministry of Health, several years ago, there was a mental health prevention strategy that was developed. I think is a wake-up call for that strategy to be applied more vigorously and with more resources.
Actually, did you find it to be a bit also consternating that we had the neighbors who were watching, shouting? What would they have done much more than...